Hello there and welcome to Lights Camera Cricket. We've got Sourav Ganguly and Nikhil Chopra for company for their insights on the Mumbai Punjab IPL game today. But first, the update on the result. While Punjab beat Mumbai Indians by 18 runs in their IPL clash earlier today at the Wankhede. All right, Sourav, let's go right across to Sourav Ganguly now. Sourav, quite clearly, Harbhajan Singh was left to wage a lone battle as far as the Mumbai team was concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought he played an absolute blinder. To get 64 of just 22 deliveries down the order was amazing. And I thought the other left-hander at the other end did support him very well, but it was a bit too late for them. They lost too many wickets. I think that's the fragileness of the Mumbai Indians team. We said that at the start of the show. The Kings 11 Punjab are a much better side because they have depth in the batting. If you look at the Mumbai Indians, a lot depends on Rohit Sharma. Aaron Finch has been struggling. I think Mitchell Johnson has got his number today, and he struggled in the last game as well. So if it's not Aaron Finch, Rohit Sharma, then Aditya Tare, and then it depends on Corey Anderson a lot. Ambati Rayudu has also struggled against genuine pace, and so there's a bit of brittleness in the batting lineup of the Mumbai Indians. And I'm not surprised with what I saw. They struggled against the Knight Riders as well to get to a big score. Although Rohit Sharma played outstandingly, but it was not a match-winning score in this ground. So that point of view, there are some holes in the Mumbai Indians team.
Nikhil, considering the way Suchit and Harbhajan Singh batted, a lot of introspection clearly required from the Mumbai Indians think tank, considering their batting just capitulated under pressure.
Absolutely. I guess, to the start of it, you got to give credit where it's due. I think that initial burst of Sandeep, when he swung that ball in the very first over, I thought he bowled an outstanding over to Rohit when he got him out. But even after that, like Dada just said, against genuine pace, Raidu, Tare, I don't think there's enough, batting firepower in the top four to give you that kind of faith in that batting order. If Finch and Rohit don't get you the runs, 3 and 4 looks very brittle, and then you've got Corey Anderson. Maybe Corey Anderson's got to go bat up the order, or they need to try and make a couple of changes. Sides that do well in T20 cricket, their top 2 bowlers with a new ball, genuine pace, who can move the ball on their day, will win you games. And when it comes to batting, top 4 are your main guys. Top 4 guys don't get you runs, you're not going to win too many games, Himanshu. So I guess in that respect, Mumbai's really got to think about their batting order once again.
Sourav, you heard what Nikhil had to say. Corey Anderson perhaps could bat up the order. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but how much of the order, to be honest? He's batting at number 5. I think at number 4, I think he batted today, didn't he? So I don't think he can go higher up the order. There is Aaron Finch and Rohit Sharma. Then Aditya Tare bats at 3, Corey Anderson at 4. I think he batted 5. Ambati Rayudu at 4, Anderson at 5, and then the Kieran Pollard at 6. He can come up to 4, but I don't think it's just about Corey Anderson. The likes of Aaron Finch, Aditya Tare and Ambati Rayudu will have to stand up for the Mumbai Indians. There is a bit of lack of quality in that batting order. When you look at the likes of the Kings 11 Punjab, there's Sehwag, there is Miller, there is Maxwell, there is George Bailey, there is Murli Vijay. There's quality stuff up in that batting lineup. Riddhiman Saha coming down the order. And when you look at the Mumbai Indians and Rohit Sharma, yes, he's a class act. Aaron Finch is good, but then the likes of Corey Anderson and Kieran Pollard and Ambati Rayudu, you won't consider them among the best batsmen in probably in Indian cricket or in world cricket. So I think there is a weakness for the Mumbai Indians in that part of the batting. So that I think they'll have to address that. And in Indian pitches, we saw Corey Anderson struggle last year. He's a different kettle of fish in New Zealand or a different kettle of fish in Australia. But when it comes to those Indian pitches, the slowness of the pitch actually holds him up. It's not the same Corey Anderson we see on pitches where the ball comes on to the bat. So as I said, there is a bit of brittleness in that batting lineup. Luckily, Harbhajan Singh played well today. That's why they got so close to the total. Otherwise, I think they will be fighting hard to stay afloat in this competition this season.
Nikhil, you had a question for Sourav. Please go ahead.
Dadi, with Mumbai, with the kind of money that they've got during the auctions, they spend a lot of money. You look at their support staff, from Ricky Ponting, of course, Tendulkar being their mentor, Robin Singh, John T. Rhodes, Anil Kumble. Do you think one of these guys, probably gave it a miss in terms of their at least batting order? You would think that these guys would come a little better prepared.
See, these boys are there, but they're off the field, isn't it? They would have actually wanted Tendulkar, Ponting and Anil Kumble on the field batting and bowling for them. But then that cannot happen. So they're off the field and they can contribute that much. As I said, you can have the best coaches in the world, but if you don't have a good side, if you don't have a quality team, then you're struggling actually. And I think there is an issue there with the Mumbai Indians.
Just the composition of the side, something, it just feels that it doesn't give you that sort of faith that they could win unless somebody, bats out of their skin or literally bowls out of their skin. It doesn't look like a unit that can, okay, two guys don't fire, somebody else will, raise their hands and win your game. Somehow Mumbai this year doesn't seem to be that sort of side.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, and not just this year, even last year, they didn't look that sort of a side to actually do well. Yeah, they had an outstanding game against the Rajasthan Royals, the last game of the tournament, where Corey Anderson just smashed the bowling of the Rajasthan Royals and qualified. So I don't think they're among the top sides in the IPL, and until and unless they go back to the auction next year and pick the right players, they will probably struggle.
Sourav, of course, credit needs to be given to Sandeep Sharma. What a brilliant spell today. 1 for 12 in 4 overs, and of course the wicket of Rohit Sharma and a maiden as well. How often do you see a maiden in IPL?
See, if you remember, he did well last season as well, Sandeep Sharma. He swings the ball, and it goes to show that if you swing the ball in any format of the game, you'll be successful. And what the Kings 11 did well with him was that he finished his 4 overs. And just didn't keep him till the end, because with his pace and once the swing goes, he will not be that sort of a handy bowler in the death. So it was clever captaincy from George Bailey as well, exactly what Bhuvaneshwar Kumar needs to do for the Sunrisers for the game tomorrow. So I think he will continue to do well because he swings the ball, and in places like Bombay, Mohali, he will be very, very handy because there's just that bit of extra zip on the surface.
Nikhil, of course, considering the way the bowlers bowled on this wicket, credit needs to be given to George Bailey as well for that fantastic knock.
Well, absolutely. He's put a lot of pressure on the Mumbai side. Getting that 61 not out, in the last 5-6 overs, the way he added those runs, phenomenal. And that's what you want. When you talk about quality, somebody gets past 15, 18 in a T20 game, you want that batsman to take it further. And that's exactly what George Bailey did. Some sort of respectability where you can at least go out there and put some pressure on the opposition. Those are the sort of knocks that make all the difference.
Sourav, of course, a lot of credit needs to be given to Virendra Sehwag and Murali Vijay as well. Sehwag in particular for that free-flowing inning at the top. 36 runs of just 19 deliveries. It was a pleasure to watch him play today.
Yeah, he looked good, isn't it? I think I saw the glimpses of old Sehwag. In the knock today, there was a bit of bounce. He's someone who likes to play the cut shot on the side, on the square of the wicket, and the bounce in the Mumbai pitch helped him. He's a great player for India. I was hearing one of the commentators say that could he turn the clock back? I don't think he's become that old that he needs to turn the clock back. I think if he's given confidence, if he's made to believe in his ability, he still can be a champion player because he's just 34 years of age.
Right. So sort of one final comment on this game. Where do you think the scope for improvement is as far as the performances of the two sides is concerned?
I think Kings 11 is a very good side. I like that composition of the side. They're covered in all areas. They've got pace, they've got batting, they've got power hitters. Akshar Patel does a good job for them, and Maxwell hasn't fired. I think that's something which they will keep looking at, because if Maxwell fires in this batting lineup, they'll win most of the games in this IPL. In terms of the Mumbai Indians, they'll have to find batsmen from somewhere. I don't know how they can get the composition right. Maybe Rohit Sharma could come down the order, but I don't think he likes that because he opens for India, so he doesn't want to get out of that batting order. So there are issues with the Mumbai Indian side, especially with the quality of batting. For me, if you ask me, the Mumbai Indian side, it should be Rohit Sharma, Aaron Finch, and they need to find a top-class number 3. A current India player at number 3, and then you could play Ambati Raidu at 4, Corey Anderson at 5, and Kiran Pollard at 6. But at the present moment, they're missing that quality number 3.
Right, Sourav, before I wrap this show up, a final question from you. There have been reports that you're going to be the next coach of the Indian cricket team. Would you like to react to that?
I have no reaction to that. I have no reaction to this, and I'm being honest. I'm hearing it, or rather, I've been reading reports as much as you have read, and that's exactly what it is. And there is nothing more to that.
But if given an opportunity, would you like to coach the Indian cricket team?
I knew this question was coming after this.
Okay.
I don't know, but let's cross the bridge when we get there. I cannot say this at the moment.
It'll be a good thing for India, I can tell you that. It'll be a good thing for India if Dada is offered and he agrees. It'll be a good thing for Indian cricket that he takes the reins of the Indian coach.
Nikhil, what do you think are the qualities that Sourav brings on the table that really make him a great mentor as well as a great coach for the young bunch of Indian players?
You look at some of the youngsters under the captaincy of Dada who excelled and made their name in international cricket. Zaheer Khan, Yuvraj Singh, Virender Sehwag, Harbhajan Singh. So Dada's got a great eye to spot talent, and once he does that, you know, within a couple of failures also, he will back his players. Make no mistake about it. Who's got Indian cricket to be playing this aggressive young Indian team, you know, in Australia, giving it back to the Australians? So that's Dada. So he brings a lot to the Indian table as well, and he can understand, he can motivate, and it's all about man management. Sometimes Dada can be a little angry to some players when he knows there's a lot of potential, or there's a lot of talent, and they're not doing justice to that kind of talent. And some players need his arm over their shoulders and try and explain things. So he knows that. So I just feel that you need somebody who can bring the best out of every individual player in a team sport.